All right, here's a review for the quiz coming up. All right, so here is a system of equations. We are looking for an x and a y that work perfectly in both equations. So the way you do this is you're looking for this scenario. If it's not happening, you have to make it happen. You have to find two numbers that are the same, okay? One positive, one negative. You need to find that. If it doesn't happen, you have to make it, which I will be showing you in the other questions. So in this question, it's already occurring. So you're going to cancel this, okay? And now you're left with 5y minus 3y, which gives you 2y. And then 5 plus 9 is going to give you 14. Sorry, the answer is going to be 14. Then you divide by 2 on both sides, and y is going to equal 7. So now that you know y equals 7, you have to grab 7 and put it back into one of the original problems. Okay? So let's put it into the top one. So it says 2x plus 5y, which is 5 times 7, which is 35, equals 5. So minus 35, 2x equals negative 30, divided by 2, x equals negative 15. So when do those two lines intersect? At negative 15, 7. Okay? Now here it's also already occurring. It's not happening in the front, but it's happening right here. There's a 4 and a 4. One of them is positive, one of them is negative, which means this is going to cancel. So we're going to be left with x minus 4x, which gives us negative 3x. And that's going to equal, because this no longer is there, you're going to combine these, and you're going to get negative 6, divide by negative 3, divide by negative 3, x equals 2. Then you have to grab x and put it back into the equation. And now it reads 2 plus 4y equals 14. Subtract 2 on both sides. 4y equals 12. Divide by 4 on both sides. Y equals 3. So this one's going to be 2, 3. All right, now look at this one. This one is not done. Okay, this is 3 and 2. That's 5 and 1. Okay, so you can't, right now it looks like there's nothing they have in common. So what I'm going to do is multiply the bottom here, the entire bottom row, by negative 5. Now what does that do? That's going to make that into a negative 10. That doesn't help me. But that's going to make this middle one into a minus 5, which will help me. So the top line does not change at all, because I didn't have to. Then the bottom line is going to become negative 10x minus 5y equals negative 50. So this is going to cancel. You're left with this and this, which gives you negative 7x equals negative 21. Divide by negative 7 on both sides, x equals 3. So now I'm going to grab x equals 3 and put it into one of the original problems. I'll put it on the bottom one, 2x plus y. So x equals 3, so 2 3's will give you 6. So now that'll read 6 plus y equals 10. Now you probably already figured out it's 4, because 6 plus 4 equals 10. But just in case, I'm going to follow the steps. All right, now the next one over here. This one has 2 4's, but one of them's negative and the other one's negative. What about this one? This one's positive, that one's negative, but they're not the same numbers. So what I'm going to do is multiply the bottom by negative 1. Now that's going to change the sign of everything, but not change any of the numbers. So the top is going to stay exactly the same, because again, I'm not doing anything to that. And the bottom is going to become 4x plus 3y equals 1. So this is going to cancel. This is going to become 5y. And this is going to become negative 25. So y equals negative 5 in this problem. So now we look at the original problems. I'm going to put it on the top. Okay? So negative 4x plus 2y, which 2 times negative 5 is going to make negative 10. So I'm going to write minus 10 now. Equals negative 26. So let's solve this problem. We're going to get rid of the 10 first because it's furthest away from the x, but on the same side. That's going to give me negative 16 divided by negative 4 divided by negative 4. X equals 4. And now you're done. There's your x and there's your y. Now, the rest of the questions are on reflection or translation. So I'm going to show you an example of a translation on a graph here. So we're moving this red shape down 2 and to the right 1. So what you have to do to translate this shape down 2 and to the right 1 is move every dot down 2. So I'm moving this dot. 1, 2, and to the right 1. So you have to do both movements. So there's this dot is now here. So A is now A prime. Now let's move the second one. So it's down 2, 1, 2, and to the right 1, right here. So that's the second shape. Let's call that B prime. B and B prime. Now let's do this C. Let's move C. That moves down 2, 1, 2, and to the right 1. And there's my new shape translated down 2 and to the right 1. Now, let's look here. You have to remember that this is x and that's y. So we're going up 3 and to the left 4. Now, up affects y. Now, is up a positive word? Yes. Things are looking up. Left 4 affects the x because the x controls left and right. And left is a negative word, so we're going to use minus 4 here. So the answer to this translation is going to be minus 1, 4. Now this one here, reflect off of the x-axis. Now these last 4 questions are going to be on reflecting. So let's reflect off the x-axis here. This is the x-axis right here. So this is our mirror. Okay, so this is going to reflect and end up over here on this side as a mirror image. So that dot is 1 away. So I'm going to do 1 away over here. So everything's repeating. So 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. Then we go over here. 1, 1. And I'm done. I've created a mirror image of the shape that's there, but in blue. Okay, if they would have said reflect off the y-axis, it would have reflected that way and looked something like that. Okay, so this is a reflect off the x-axis, this is a reflection off the y-axis. Now, for these, if you reflect off of the y-axis, okay, meaning you were over here and you ended up over here, or you were over here and you ended up over here, what's actually just changing is the x sign. So, remember that these are x's. So, when you reflect, the x is going to change signs. So, there's going to be 2, negative 9. And the answer to this one, after reflected off the y-axis, is going to be negative 3, negative 1. So, if I reflect off of the y-axis, the x changes. If I would have reflected off of the x-axis, the y would have changed. And that's it. That's all you need to know. Good luck.